the time to gradually allow yourself to shift around and get comfortable, preparing for an experience to lead you into a state of deep, productive sleep. And as you settle in, perhaps scanning lightly the room around you, finding a spot for your eyes to rest, some object or space that catches your eye, and you can focus on that spot and gradually, with each and every breath, increase the amount of your focus and attention that is on that spot. Each breath in, allowing yourself to focus more on that spot. Each breath out, allowing you to let go of anything and everything that is not that spot. Gently holding your focus here in this place, while continuing to give last-minute shifts to the body as it gives you signals or messages about what's required for increased comfort and increased ability to let go of everything that is not this. And at some point, you might begin to notice those shifts in your peripheral vision as you continue to build your focus on this spot. Or perhaps it's noticing the general sense of fatigue around the eyelids. Or maybe even just, with each passing breath, becoming aware of that message from the eyes of how much more comfortable they would be to just let those blinks get longer and longer until you make the decision to just let them close and build this sense of peace and comfort. And perhaps it's now, or maybe in a breath from now, or two breaths, that you just say yes to that sense of comfort growing as those eyes close down. And I know you know how to start this process of just letting yourself get permission from yourself to experience things at an even deeper level. And whenever you would like to begin that, you just choose it and it happens. I wonder just how curious you might be about this calming, restful experience that you are going to experience today and be able to use again in the future whenever you need. That's right. Starting by just noticing the position of your body and then moving to this sense of focus on this spot and the awareness that you can do this when you use this for sleep, perhaps while laying down. The body being supported by the bed or the chair, noticing the sound perhaps of the breath moving in now and out. That's right. Just noticing as you settle the body, the mind settles as well, as if each breath in was a breath of fresh air blowing through the mind, and each breath out was carrying away everything that is unneeded for this moment. Each exhale bring with it a bit more calm to body and mind. And in this experience, perhaps images begin to appear, rising up. And in these images, you might begin to see yourself perhaps driving somewhere in the mountains, a nice, winding road where yours is the only vehicle, no traffic to bother or disturb. Enjoying this image, how easily the car responds, feeling it underneath your hands perhaps, or the firm, gentle nature of the wheels turning as you flow around the curve, allowing you to really enjoy the beautiful mountain scenery unfolding around you as you move deeper and deeper into the mountains. That's right. And I'm not sure what those most calming mountains look like in your mind's eye. Whether you're in the gentle, rolling pastel shades of the American Smokies, far away from the stresses of modern life, maybe in the remote Himalayas, smiling at the golden leaves of aspens in the Rockies as they settle down in the autumn, readying themselves for the rest, for winter, or mountains of the imagination existing only in your mind. But you can at this time, wherever those mountains are, find yourself going around a gentle curve, and as you drive you see a lake, a deep, crystal clear mountain lake, reflecting the light in the late afternoon, sparkling gently on the water. And as you look forward, perhaps noticing that eager anticipation or curiosity moving to your destination, you begin to see the mountain house just off in the distance on the side of the lake in the mountains. And you may notice now the sound of the tires on the gravel or the leaves on the ground as you pull into this mountain inn, a place designed down to every stone and beam to give weary travelers the perfect refuge for rest. And you open the heavy, solid door at the entry, noticing how safe, cozy, and secure this inn is. And as you open the door, you are warmly greeted by a smiling face that seems almost familiar. And you feel a weight lifted off your shoulders, completely at ease. This innkeeper, this gatekeeper, here for the purpose of taking care of all the things so that you do not need to. And this innkeeper greets you with a warm welcome, tells you how much they have been looking forward to your visit, and pass you a heavy physical key directing you around the corner to your room. The innkeeper tells you to your pleasant surprise that they've given you a lovely suite right overlooking the lake in the calmest, most restful area of the building. And as you go around the corner to a nice, solid, heavy door, sliding the heavy iron key into the lock, opening the door as it opens into a perfectly cozy sleeping chamber, Notice the pair of French doors opening onto a small balcony overlooking the lake, framed against the mountains. So beautiful, so calming, so relaxing. It feels good setting your bags down, and you can move to the balcony to take in the beautiful scenery here, noticing the temperature that seems to be just right, whether that is cozily warm or lightly cool, whatever temperature would be just right. You look down on the balcony and see three large, heavy stones, so large that you can just move them safely. And you realize, with a sense of knowing, that these three heavy, heavy stones are whatever bothers or troubles or aches that could keep sleep and rest away, even here in the relaxing mountain inn. And knowing just how much the body and mind want to rest, you bend over, lifting up one of those heavy stones, balancing it on the edge of the balcony before heaving it over, watching it as it drops with a satisfying plop down into the lake, watching it drift down, down, further away, deeper and deeper from the surface. And as it fades into the distance, noticing just how comfortably weary and sleepy you are feeling as the sun sinks down beyond the range. And heaving up that second stone, lifting it up, balancing it, letting it go with any remaining tensions or worries, and that you are in a place where you can just plop down and rest, dropping this stone away. Kerplop! It sinks away, further and further. Really noticing that pleasant sense of letting go, drifting down, finding it harder and harder to stay awake, knowing the gatekeeper is there, watching over, protecting, taking care of business. And so that last stone you pick up with all the energy you have left, feeling it grow with the sense of any leftover edge, anxiety, or even just muscle tension. Dropping it over, not even waiting to watch it plop and drift away with the last bit of your wakefulness. And as you turn to return to the room in the inn, knowing that you leave behind this balcony, and knowing that here in this session you're dropping into a deep, restorative state, and that when you listen to this at home and make these images in your head, you can take the fork in the path that takes you off to a deep, restorative sleep, deep down, almost as if swimming with the animals of the deep. A restorative sleep where nothing is left to bother and your body can gather up and release anything that does not need to be present, so that nothing is left to disturb. And so that you can have the dreams of the deep, the dreams that allow you to dream silently and at peace, even while your mind takes care of any leftover burdens, dreaming them away and leaving behind that sense of peace and comfort, and knowing that you'll be able to wake refreshed at whatever time you need to rise, and that each time you revisit this sleep chalet, you'll find it easier and easier to settle in, to find this perfect space where you can pass into the sleep that you welcome and enjoy. And so, listening to this in bed or in your chair, ready to drift off to sleep, you do that now. Each and every breath slowing, deepening, and reminding you that you can just let go. Drifting off now. Pleasant dreams.